On behalf of the families of Matthew and Christina, I welcome you to this wonderful occasion, and you have been invited to be a part of what is truly a private ceremony between these two young people and their Lord. And so it's an honor to be here, and they are so thankful that you are here, and it was nice. Everybody showed up nice and early. Thank you so much for that. But what a good day this is, and if you know this couple closely, you know this is a very good thing. God has chosen you to be together, and you guys know this. And as we've talked before, He's asked you to be a living illustration of His love. Your love is a witness of God's testimony to His people. And His desire is to show the world through your love of His love for them. And so you step into this incredible illustration. And in the beginning, when God created man and woman, He said, God created man. Male and female, He created them in His image. And so you both reflect the image of God, not completely in one person. You're much more beautiful than Matthew, and he's a little bigger and stronger than you. But you are very different, and what you bring to the table is very different. But I'm asking you guys to embrace God's design. Embrace what God does. Don't get frustrated at each other because you married someone different. And be blessed when your wife brings some intuitive things that you don't have. And be blessed when he is able to do some strong things that you may not be able to do. Thank God, because you're one. It's you doing it together, and that is God's design.
I'm struggling to find words to verbalize the enormous blessing that is Christina's friendship to me. I'm so glad that we can finally stop trying to explain to people how on earth we know each other, and I can just say that you're my sister. I met Christina for the very first time as a senior in high school when I went to visit the Naval Academy as a prospective student. Later, she became my very best friend. I'm also Matthew's sister, in case anyone didn't know, which makes it a little bit confusing, but I promise it's not that complicated. Meeting Christina for the first time when I was just a little high school senior, with my eyes set on attending the Naval Academy, she seemed larger than life to me. Although in reflection, she may admit that she didn't feel so. She was everything I aspired to be. A student at the Naval Academy, playing D1 soccer, and most importantly, a woman strong in faith and conviction. She was as close to perfect as a person could ever be. Christina, I am so incredibly grateful for the things you have taught me. How to be strong, brave, self-confident, and how to love others deeply, best displayed in how loved I felt by you. How to admit fault genuinely when it was due, and how to speak up for myself. To be diligent in all of my undertakings, regardless of seeming importance or impact. You gave me correction when it was sorely needed, as a true friend does. But what I can never thank you enough for is the love that you showed me in my most difficult times. Your perspective and reassurance and reminder to trust in God's sovereignty carried me through many difficult periods. These are the things you embody, taught to you by the most incredible parents, Mr. and Mrs. Gentrepanion, who cared for me very deeply. I wish that my dad could have met you, and that he could have witnessed your radiant joyfulness and the love you, Matthew, share. It would have made him so happy that Matthew would be marrying you, his soulmate, a godly woman who epitomizes the fruit of the Spirit. I remember so vividly the very first time Matthew had told us about you, and upon meeting you that faithful soccer recruiting trip, I hope and prayed that it would work out so that I could become friends with you. The girl Matthew was enamored with and who I admired so much. I remember a couple years now ago that you once told me that soulmates didn't always have to be of the romantic nature. They could just as rightly be a friend who understands you deeper than any regular friend could, chooses you first, and serves you as your cornerstone in all areas and periods of your life. The notion of having someone as a soulmate beyond that of your significant other amused me at the time, but resonates with me so deeply now. I am more grateful for you than you could ever know. I am praying for a lifetime of joy and happiness for you and Matthew, and I love you both with all my heart.
I've lived with Matthew for the better part of 15 years of my life, all filled with torment, laughter, horrific pranks, but most of all, a cheerful look on our faces after deceptively pranking the other person. If you know anything about Matthew, it's that he's very, very organized in the way he does things. I, on the other hand, I like to accessorize. Anything that hurts and is bad to look at, that's my thing. And he got tired of it. He was done with it. So he put a little line of scotch tape in the middle of the room. Remember that? Yeah. Tommy, past this line, bad things are gonna happen. And bad things did happen. It wasn't long until my empire, so to speak, of accessories entered his realm. And he waged war. He would throw things at me and hang me off the balcony by my collar. That didn't happen, maybe. But that didn't stop me. I just figured out new, better ways to torment him. Until he got a girlfriend. He brings Christina over, and this leads into the greatest third wheel story that you can imagine. I think we're walking down the street. It's a midsummer's night evening. The wind is blowing. The sun's going down. Walking down the street, I come up with this great idea. Now, I then go to tell Christina, and she looks aghast as to what this guy wants. And I whisper in her ear, I tell her, drop Matthew's hand, and I'll pick it up and hold it. And she thinks this is absolutely hilarious, so she does it. So I'm holding his hand, we're walking down the street. Christina's right next to him. I'm sort of like lurking behind with his hand. He doesn't notice a single thing. We make it about 2 blocks down the road. He still doesn't notice. Christina, out of the corner of her eye, spots a cute little thrift store, so she runs in. I'm still holding his hand. No more than 5 minutes passes when she comes out of the store, and boom, that's when it hits him. She's carrying a cute little bag. She bought a cute top or jeans, and she's all happy and giggly, and she's walking down, and Matthew notices her. He looks at her. He looks down at our hands, and back at me. I look at Christina. I look down at our hands, and I look back at Matthew. And he then shoves me and establishes an age-old precedent he set way back in the day and slaps me on the back of the head. And that's when I knew you would be a great addition to our family. So with that being said, Matthew, I want you to look at Christina, and Christina, I want you to look at Matt. Deep in the eyes, and I'm being serious. All those traits and values that you hold for each other. Matthew, you're strong. You're willing to stand up for what's right, no matter who's in the room. You protect us. You're a protector. You're cheerful. You're joyful. You're loving. You're kind. You're gentle. Christina, you're amazing. You're compassionate. You're kind. You have the greatest smile. But most of all, you have a wicked sense of humor. And it's the glue that holds everything together. So look at each other. Matthew and Christina. You have both entered the upper echelons of life. You are part of a unity, two becoming one, two sides of one coin. To think of your partner is to think of yourself. To think of only yourself is to negate your partner. So Matthew, serve your partner as she is your queen. And Christina, serve your partner as he is your king. You're about now family. If we could all raise our glasses for a toast. Matthew, Christina, may you fly fast, land hard, live well, and love always. Cheers.
Christine, I vow before God and before our loved ones that I will continue to seek the Lord with fervor, that I will love you and lead you as Christ loves and leads the church. I will fall short, but that will always be the standard. And Father, I pray that our love would only grow continually every day for you and for each other. And I pray that today our love would pale in comparison to our love in the days to come.
Matthew Casey Gilchrist, I commit myself, Christina Marie Gendrepenian, to you as wife. I will love, I will cherish, I will serve, and I will submit to you just as we, the church, submit to Christ. I pray that our marriage would be a living illustration of God's love for his people and a witness thereof. May we grow ever closer to Christ, drawing ever closer to one another.
You're already married. You are no longer two, but you are one. And understand, if you ever get in a fight, no one wins, because you can't win because you're one. You discuss things to resolve, and you serve one another, and you're a team. You win together, and sometimes you go through the sorrow of losing together. I don't even believe that we understand the depth of the oneness that God desires for you. So when one succeeds, you both succeed. And doing it God's way, which I know you're committed to, you will accomplish much in life and regret a little. And so you have exchanged vows, you've exchanged rings, you've promised your love and devotion to each other before God and these witnesses. It's now my blessed responsibility to pronounce you man and wife. You may kiss your bride.
You know, as parents, our love and duty and devotion to our children never goes away. So with that, we are proud as a family and blessed to call Matthew our son. And I just this time want to thank my wife, Diana, for being that rock in our family, for raising Christina into this complete, beautiful, and compassionate woman you see in front of you today. Matthew and Christina, yours will be a journey of joy and happiness that can only come as a man and wife. We will be there on the sidelines to encourage you, to cheer you on, and to root you on in this journey. We love you both with every ounce of our beings. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.